Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy Lewis here. I want to discuss a few updates that I will have ongoing onto the channel at some point in the near future. I want to expand my horizons a bit and tackle what if content. However, on the fact that I don't necessarily own a computer, I will probably do my what if content while having sparking and or Xenoverse footage in the background as I do this. And on account of my lack of computer, unable to really take notes, all of my what ifs will probably be raw, unscripted, unfiltered content, kind of just off the dome. So, unlike other YouTubers who will, have the ability to make a script, if they want to do what ifs, my what ifs will be purely straight off the dome, just as soon as ideas fly into my head, I will kind of just say them as I do the what if, as I feel this will give you guys a sense of not realism, a sense of humanity in a way, in the way I do my content so differently. I feel like you guys could appreciate that. That if my what ifs aren't perfect, I feel like you guys can give me a little bit of credit as they are, again, just straight up off the dome. And of course, with my videos being unscripted and with the way the PlayStation's level of, making videos is one straight shot video, unable to pause, unable to edit. So if I have any brain fog, you guys are going to see that. If I make any mistakes, you guys are going to see that. If I need to backtrack to fix any plot holes and errors, you guys are going to see that. To which I am perfectly okay and comfortable doing, as I feel as if that would be better for you guys, you know? Just to see what kind of difficulty it would be making what ifs, if I ever suffer any difficulties. And of course, if you do not like the way I handle things within my what if content, you guys have enough of an account on YouTube yourselves to kind of just upload your own what if content. If you feel inspired enough to make what if content by my videos, but you don't necessarily agree with the things I do in that video, I 100% encourage you guys that whether you like them or don't like them, if you want to do what if content in your own right, I 1,000% encourage you guys to do so. You know, you guys might be able to script them, or if you want them to be raw like my videos, you can do that too. I encourage the creativity from you guys. So if you guys want to do that yourselves, you are more than welcome to. And of course, you don't always have to follow my videos. My videos, or this idea of going into what if content is inspired by Salad Saiyan, Smug Stick, and a few other people, Masako X, of course. He was my biggest inspiration. He's the one who got me into what if contents in general. So big shout out to Masako, big shout out to Smug Stick, big shout out to Salad Saiyan. And there are a few other like what ifers that I would like to shout out that kind of got me inspired into making what ifs. Like for example, there's always of course Major Dragon, you know, uh, and of course there's also, well, uh, I'd have to look into my other what if channels. I'm of course Brain Fog again, right off the dope. Sacred Saiyan, of course, him too. And I forgot the name of the YouTuber. He did. He did Dragon Ball X Sonic Chaos crossover, to which I recommend you guys check out because that's really, really good so far. Um, but yeah, uh, the way I'm going to do this, I might kind of just start with just talking, just yapping about how I want a what if to go. Like for example, a what if I might do um, is what if all of Dragon Ball movies were canon. I would like to implement them into the main story in some way, some form. And of course, at the end of it, I would kind of like to separate that from Super in a way. Or I could do a what if all of the Dragon Ball continuities, were in like one big whole thing. Like, what if Dragon Ball was planned from the start, from Dragon Ball all the way up to Super Diamond GT? Maybe I'll have all of that in one big go. Who knows? Oh, another what if I could possibly do is what if GT and Super were in the same multiverse? Like, what if GT was in Universe 6 as inspiration I took from Cell and Saiyan? You know? I could make my story a little bit different. I don't know how I want to do this because I haven't delved into this idea publicly. I of course have friends that I talk to that I do what ifs with, you know, that I kind of do this little writing exercise for fun. But I never really done this publicly, and I'm not a very like public person, if that makes sense. So there will be times where I may not upload for a while, and that might be due to camera shyness or voice shyness. Overall, because I don't really upload like that. I'm sure you guys have seen by the large gaps in my videos. I kind of just do whatever, and I don't necessarily stick to a schedule. Now, am I going to start sticking to a schedule? No, probably not. Because there's just a lot that can go with that, a lot of broken promises that I could make, and I would like to necessarily avoid that or avoid any like disappointment from my fans, or not fans. I'm not calling you guys fans because I don't, I don't upload enough to really have a fan base, but from my subscribers at the very least. Um, yeah. Honestly, once this video was done and uploaded, I might start doing a what if script, and after that script, well, I say script just for the sake of professionality, but I'll just yap in a video in regards to what I want that what if to do. After that, I might do some footage of whatever fight I include within that, maybe in the what if itself or possibly afterwards. And I could look back on my other what if contents that I make, the Sparking Zero ones that I've uploaded before this video uploads, just to explain a little bit more. Like maybe after this video, I could explain into Android Vegito. Who is he? Where does he come from? How did I get the idea? The idea for him. Sorry, hiccups. How did I get the idea for him? And just go fully into lore dives, because as a lot of you will notice, after a while, I stopped putting in subtitles or dialogue within my what ifs, leaving a lot of you guys to really guess what they're saying. And I know that might not be enjoyed by a few of you, the lack of dialogue, and you guys needing to fill in the words yourselves. So I feel like this might be a bit more better, might give my Sparking Zero videos a lot more cohesiveness to them. And yeah, I will end the video here, and I will see you guys when I see you as I upload what I want to do next. I might explain Android Vegito before I go into my what if content, because I still have yet to decide what I want to do with that what if content. But yeah, I might do a few uploads today. Well, we will see how this goes. I am very much within the experimental phase of my channel. As you guys can see, all of my uploads not exactly looking very cohesive or make sense in that setting. Um, I'm just experimenting, kind of just seeing what sticks. You know, when I started YouTube, I kind of did it for myself, just to kind of do whatever, and I still intend to do that and keep that promise to myself. You know, to not necessarily do YouTube for the sake of fame, as I feel like a lot of other YouTubers do. You know, they want to do it to get big. I primarily do YouTube for fun. I emphasize and prioritize my own fun factor when it comes to YouTube, that I feel like was wanted and intended by the creators of YouTube, you know, back in the day of just uploading random silly videos, you know, just people doing whatever, having fun. YouTube not being as corporatized as it is now. I kind of want to bring that element back, just to kind of let loose, be wacky, do whatever you want or need to do in the YouTube to get big. I don't necessarily want to really follow what in the footsteps of other people. I will of course take inspiration, you know, and maybe put some ideas of theirs into my own video, you know, just inspiration wise, but I necessarily also want to do my own thing with my own channel, you know. So yeah, if I get any critiques about my what ifs from here on out after I start making them, I will take them into account, provided they are constructive and not just purely hate, as I will just ignore the hate. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Again, also, I do intend to just do my videos raw, unfiltered, just straight one-shotting, considering that I don't have access to editing software. So I'm gonna have to do it off the dome, just because of, you know, my very limited abilities technology wise. So, and my very very low knowledge on tech savviness and all that sorts. But yeah, uh, that's the end of this update, unless I want to say more. To which I don't think I do. I think I covered all my bases. But yeah, I will upload another video, at least maybe 2 or 4 or 7. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, depending on how inspired I get as I do the what ifs. But my next video is probably gonna start explaining Android Vegito, where he comes from, how I got inspired to do that, and yeah, I will see you guys on my Android Vegito um, saga, and how, and explain to you guys the lore on that, as well as explaining the lore on some of my previous videos. You know, if you guys are into that sort of thing, you know. But yeah, that is it from me. I will see you guys in maybe a few minutes to a few hours, but to me, I'm kind of doing these videos back to back to back. So from my perspective, I will see you guys in literally like 5 seconds. But to you guys, it might be like a few minutes or so. We will see how things go.